take the lead. What a play from Lola and LeBron James, a monster jam.
It's been a hot minute since Space Jam: A New Legacy film was released, but it's been doing a lot of numbers both in views and revenue. The long-awaited prequel has been in the works for years now, so the public has been expecting a lot from this film, especially considering that the first Space Jam movie premiered more than 2 decades ago in 1996. So what's the public's opinion on the movie? What's up, guys? How's the weather where you're at? Welcome back to our channel. For today, we'll be looking at some of the things both celebrities and athletes have been saying about Space Jam: A New Legacy. Is it better than the original movie? If you're curious to know more about what these celebrities are saying, watch until the end to know. Before we proceed with today's video, kindly do us a favor and click that like button and subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on so you won't miss any of our new releases. Space Jam: A New Legacy. What's it about? Space Jam: A New Legacy is a live-action sports comedy film that's a standalone sequel to the original Space Jam movies back in 1996. Directed by Malcolm D. Lee, the film is led by a basketball superstar, LeBron James, as a fictionalized version of himself, along with Cheadle, Khris Davis, Sonequa Martin-Green, and Cedric Joe in live-action roles, while Jeff Bergman, Eric Boza, and Zendaya headline the Looney Tunes voice cast. The film has 6 screenwriters and 5 other NBA and WNBA All-Stars included in the cast, aside from all the cartoon characters we loved. The film takes place in the Warner Bros. Virtual space multiverse and revolves around LeBron James and his son, who got sucked into a digital space and entrapped by a rogue AI. To get home safely, LeBron teams up with Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, and the rest of the Looney Tunes gang for the high-stakes basketball game against the AI's digitized champions of the court, a powered-up roster called the Goon Squad. Film reviews. Is Space Jam worth a watch? On its debut weekend, the film grossed around $31.65 million in 3,965 theaters. That topped the domestic box office, but it was also considered a successful disappointment by many. As of the moment, the film holds a 31% rating on Rotten Tomatoes through 127 reviews and a 36 on Metacritic through 35 reviews. The critic census from RT. Despite LeBron James' best efforts to make a winning team out of the Toon Squad, Space Jam: A New Legacy trades the zany meta humor of its predecessor for a shameless, tiring exercise in IP-driven branding. The film surprised showing despite middling to terrible reviews. The New York Post called it an abomination. Propelled it past last weekend's leader, Disney superhero film Black Widow. With lousy reviews that are expected of the film, paying audiences still gave it an A cinema score grade. Although it earned a little more than the over/under 25 million projections, Malcolm D. Lee's LeBron James/Bugs Bunny flick is at best a successful disappointment. The film had a bigger budget and expenses, plus it had a more important release that nonetheless opened up at the same level as its cheaper predecessor. Michael Jordan's Space Jam nabbed a $28 million opening in 1996, which would be around $60 million adjusted for inflation. To be fair, Warner Brothers was always hoping for a bigger overseas payout, as even the first Space Jam earned $90 million domestic, that's $187 million adjusted, but $230 million worldwide on a $90 million budget. However, it's important to keep in mind that the movie is marketed towards kids and the younger age group, which means that it's supposed to be tacky, corny, ridiculous, and whatever pops into mind when you think of a kids movie. That being said, adults need to tone it down with these reviews since it wasn't built for their tastes. It's not exactly the King's Speech or There Will Be Blood or something. Without considering these factors, a few entertainment outlets, news channels already chipped in their 2 cents, such as the following. From Entertainment Weekly, here's the thing about basketball. It's extremely watchable. Here's the thing about Space Jam: A New Legacy. It's not. You'll be amazed by how little the basketball game resembles an actual sport and how hard it is to sit through. From the AV Club, Space Jam: A New Legacy takes almost nothing but wrong turns, all leading to a glittering CGI trash heap of cameos, past life lessons, and stale internet catchphrases. From Polygon, Space Jam: A New Legacy is only really satisfying to people who care about marketing and company profits, people who approach it as a product that's successfully been sold. It's like a basketball game your favorite team is winning, except the team isn't one playing on the screen. It's the company that sold you the ticket. The Washington Post was also quite damning with the reviews with subtle praises, wherein they stated, "There's no real reason for the sequel/tribute to the original 1996 film to exist, but now that it does, there's no reason to wish that it didn't." While you could do worse, probably wouldn't pass muster with the movie's marketing people as a tagline, it's probably the most accurate assessment of the film. Some legitimately enjoyed the film, or at least believe the film's target audience would enjoy it, like Den of Geek. The reason Space Jam: A New Legacy doesn't fall off the wheels is because the film has a clear message for kids, a satisfying character arc for James, and an emotional climax that is acted well enough by the 4-time MVP. That's more than his Airness's version gave us. At the end of the day, this is a movie for kids, and they'll likely be pulled into its world like the characters themselves. Comparing LeBron James and Michael Jordan, the 2 GOATs of basketball. The greatest of all time, James and Jordan have been dubbed by many due to their proven skills in basketball, and it was only right that they're the ones to lead Space Jam. Both a hybrid animated live-action movies that center on basketball, but they differ in several aspects. The first Space Jam, while not exactly Hoosiers or He Got Game, had its wildly goofy, self-aware charms. The new edition is comparatively an airball. It's less a family-friendly film with the hoops legend and more of a crassly referential love letter to all things Warner Bros. But lead characters needed to help the gangs from Looney Tunes to fulfill their mission. We said before that the latest Space Jam wasn't doing well in critical reviews. Critics slammed the film for being too much of a commercial for Warner Bros. And its corporate advertisements. NY Post even compared it to the bad sequels and reboots of the past, including Paul Blart, Mall Cop 2, and Little Fockers. Of course, it's impossible to make the sequel without giving subtle nods to the original movie. There's definitely some nostalgia for the original Space Jam. It came out at a time when Jordan was a mega world star and the NBA was beginning to grow exponentially in the United States. Most 90s kids were obsessed with the movie because it combined the love of Jordan and basketball with the cartoon heroes of the Saturday morning television viewing ritual. But was the original Space Jam movie any good to begin with? Critics didn't necessarily love the original Space Jam. The film has a 44% rating on Rotten Tomatoes based on 80 reviews, which is barely better than the new film's score. Critics blasted the film for being too catered to NBA fans and Looney Tunes, calling the film a cash-in moment for Warner Bros. Space Jam is so obviously a work for the marketing/demographic hunting mentality that it's rather surprising to find that the brazen creature gathers a certain charm as it rolls along, wrote Kevin Jackson of Independent Sunday in October 2011, which was 16 years after its release. The same year, Ryan Gibley of The Independent echoed Jackson's sentiments wherein he said, "Space Jam is nothing if not a product made by men who gouged a film's success by how many soft toys it spawns." Space Jam hit a little bit better with audiences though. The audience score on Rotten Tomatoes for the movie reached 63% on more than 250,000 ratings. Clearly, the film resonated with audiences rather than reviewers. Surprise there? But at the end of the day, these two movies celebrate the sport of basketball, and even though a lot of critics have been speaking critically of the film, there's actually nothing wrong with children learning more about LeBron James, Klay Thompson, and Damian Lillard, who all star in the new film. There's nothing wrong with educating fans about the dominant Charles Barkley or the underrated Muggsy Bogues in the original film. Space Jam: A New Legacy hits the point of Space Jam on the nose with its title. Space Jam furthers the legacy of basketball and its stars. It furthers the legacy of the Looney Tunes. It expands the way children can interact with basketball and its history. Looking past the various marketing embedded in the movie, you can't deny how much it inspires the youth to take up basketball and enjoy the sport because of Space Jam's influence. And with that, we're concluding today's episode about what athletes and celebrities are saying about Space Jam: A New Legacy. Hopefully, you enjoyed watching today's video as much as we enjoyed making it. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for sticking around. Do check out our channel if you like this video, since we got more content like this and more, from tutorials to celebrity news to curious trivia. Thanks for watching. Before you go, if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on so you won't miss any of our newest uploads. We'll see you again with the next episode. Take care.